10th August marks the birth anniversary of V.V. Giri, who was the only independent candidate to have been elected to the post of the president so far. Giri entered the Rashtrapati Bhawan on 24th August 1969 and held office for a full term until 1974. He was born on August 10, 1894 in Berhampur, now in Odisha. In this video, we will discuss how he was instrumental in changing the course of Indian politics. His presidential election in 1969 became a battle for supremacy between the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and her detractors in the party, the syndicate comprising party veterans who had until then the lever of the control over the Congress. Apart from being a much talked about election, 1969 elections is also remembered for the changes it ushered in for the Congress and Indian politics at large. Giri's election happens to be a watershed moment in the history of Congress and in Gandhi emerging as a leader in her own right. As Giri managed to win the presidential battle, it also cemented Indira Gandhi's position further in the party. The syndicate, as the senior members were called, had some of the veteran leaders like K. Kamraj, Morarji Desai, S.K. Patil, Atulya Ghosh and Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy. S. Nijalingappa was the then president of the Congress party, and the Congress had nominated Reddy, who was part of the syndicate, as their presidential candidate. As the Congress party leader, Gandhi went ahead and filed the nomination for Sanjeeva Reddy, though she refrained from issuing a whip to Congress MPs, something which Nijalingappa wanted her to do. Nijalingappa, however, also made a crucial mistake by approaching the main opposition parties, Swatantra and Janasangha, to cast their second preference vote for Reddy. The opposition's candidate was C.D. Deshmukh. Gandhi and her supporters used this opportunity to make the elections into a fight between the right and the left. In the elections, Giri emerged victorious, which later led to the expulsion of Gandhi by the Congress party. However, Indira Gandhi claimed she had the majority support, and this is what led to the split of the Congress party. After the death of President Dr. Zakir Hussain due to a heart attack on May 3, 1969, the post of the president became vacant. In backing an independent candidate indirectly, which is V.V. Giri, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi went against her own party. As I said, the Congress had made Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy its official candidate, a former member of the Lok Sabha. After the death of former President Zakir Hussain in May 1969, Giri, who was the vice president at that time, assumed the role of the acting president. Later on, he decided to contest as an independent candidate, and Gandhi decided to offer support to him, though indirectly, and this decision of hers was not made public. However, the messaging was clear from her end to her supporters to vote for Giri. On August 16, 1969, just 4 days before the presidential election, Indira Gandhi made her first statement on the entire matter. Without taking Giri's name, she gave a call for a conscience vote. Under Gandhi, the Congress emerged as a centralized party, with one person taking all the key decisions, and the era also witnessed centralization of power in the Prime Minister's office, which is something that has continued even today. Indira Gandhi also used the opportunity to nationalize private banks, a move that was seen as socialist. Soon after removing Desai as finance minister on July 16, she nationalized banks on July 20th. During his tenure as president, Giri gave his assent to two key documents: the Shimla Agreement, a peace treaty signed between India and Pakistan, and the Bank Nationalization Bill of 1969. Many would argue that Giri was probably the first president who would sign on dotted lines without applying his own judgment. Gandhi also used the presidential elections to cement her situation politically, as it led to the split in the Congress party. Following the death of Lal Bahadur Shastri in 1966, Indira Gandhi was elected as the leader of the Congress party. During Giri's 3-month stint as the acting president following the death of Hussain, Giri promulgated the infamous Bank Nationalization Ordinance proposed by former PM Indira Gandhi's administration. The ordinance nationalized 14 largest commercial banks in the country with deposits worth Rs 50 crore. The move drew sharp criticism not only from the opposition but also from economists. what 1969 did to Indian polity has continued in many forms till today. After the 1969 elections, Gandhi went full throttle with a socialist, political and economic agenda, ushering in many changes in the country. This is Neelam Pandey reporting for The Print.